This is a really nice individual for keying out for the first time. We're going to take a sample of this back and go key it. Once we've got our plant collected, our next thing that we should really do is take a close look at the inside of this flower, and let's see what's happening with our flower parts. We know that in the key we're going to be asked things like, is this polypetalous or gamopetalous? And as you should be able to see with this individual, we've got a nice polypetalous flower. These petals are very separate, and you can see that it's also polysepalous. These sepals are not at all united. They are individually separated. I have 5 sepals, and let's zoom in for a close look at our number of stamens. Let's see if I can get this in focus for you. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. Beautiful. 5 clear stamens. And then you can see the pistils all clustered inside, right in the center of that flower. You can actually, on one of these flowers, you can also see the divisions in the tip of the sepal there, or the stigma there. You can see how it's divided. And it looks like that is also 5 miris. So we clearly have 5 stamens, 5 petals, and 5 sepals. Next, we'll take a look inside Flora of the Pacific Northwest. Just like before, we're going to go ahead and jump straight to the artificial key. Turns out we can skip down quite a ways through this artificial key this time, because we know that we're not dealing with an aquatic plant. We know that we're producing seeds. We know that the ovules are not born on woody cones. And we can go all the way down. We know we're going to take 4B in this couplet. We know we're not dealing with parasitic plants. We know we're not dealing with Cactaceae. We can go all the way down here. Perianth parts generally in sets of 4 or 5, rarely 3. We like that. And then in 9A versus 9B, we know we're going to go with 9B, stems herbaceous, which puts us at group 6 on page 20. Here we are. Our first couplet asks us if the leaves are modified as traps for insects. These are carnivorous plants, and that's not us. We get to go to 1B. Our next couplet, 5A and 5B, flowers tightly clustered in heads, thick conical to ovoid spikes. We've talked about that before. That's like in the Asteraceae, and that's not us. We get to go to 5B. Following 5B, we have leaves opposite, or leaves not at once opposite, scale-like and connate into a low rim around the stem. And from a quick look at our plant, you can see we're not at all dealing with leaves that are as described for this family. So we can go with 9B. Plants parasitic or myco-heterotrophic without visible green color. We can rule that out right away, and we're at 10B. Following 10B, we get to say juice of stems milky, leaves simple and opposite, or sepals 2 to 3. We haven't checked for milky juice. If I split this plant open, I don't find milky juice, but additionally I don't have anything else in that couplet that matches well. So I'm going to go down to 12B. My next subgroup is leaves whorled, generally 3 or more per node, excluding plants with leaves all basal. Okay. Or leaves alternate, opposite, or all basal. And you can see our leaves here seem almost basal. but they are on some part of a green stem. It turns out a good portion of this stem was buried, and we can focus in on that part of the plant. You see there's a little stipule there, and these leaves are coming off almost opposite each other. So we have to go with 13B. 14A and B asks us corolla polypet and strongly bilaterally symmetric, generally showy. Petals generally all fully distinct, but occasionally one pair partially connate. Strongly bilaterally symmetric means face-like, symmetrical like a face versus like a wheel. We have to go with corolla polypet, but radially symmetric or gamopet. Our 15A asks us if our perianth is 2 or 4 meris. We already counted up our number of perianth parts at the very start, and we saw that this was a 5 meris plant. Here we are, 15B, perianth generally 5 meris, occasionally 3, 6, or 7 meris. Okay, that doesn't apply to us, but that's good to know. 16A says leaf blades pinnately, ternately, or palmately divided into compound, the divisions extending greater than halfway to the midrib of the leaf base. Well, there's our leaves there. And as much as I'd like to say that that's a simple leaf, it's clear that this individual leaf is composed of multiple branches and multiple leaflets. So we have individual leaflets on one full leaf. So that sounds good. 16B says leaf blades from entire, toothed, or lobed, the lobing generally not greater than halfway to the midrib. Well, there's our midrib, and we are divided much more than that. So we have to go into this group. 17A asks us, is the plant a strong vine with palmately lobed leaves? No, it's not. Plants viney, not viney, or leaves not 3 to 7 lobes. We like that. 19A says corolla polypet or lacking, and 19B says corolla gamopetalous. We already saw that these petals are very nice and separated from each other, and we can call it polypetalous, and we will go to subgroup 6E. Here we are in subgroup 6E, keying out our nice little plant here. Put it here so we can remember what we're dealing with. Apetalous or polypetalous herbs with deeply lobed and divided leaves. Yep, that's us. Stamens greater than 10, monadelphous, forming a tube surrounding the pistil. Plants often densely stellate, pubescent, meaning they're hairy, kind of a star-like hair. And the leaves would be palmately lobed or divided. We already know we don't like that because if the leaves palmately divided, that's not going to work for us. But we can also count our number of stamens when we have them. This individual is actually lacking anthers, and this individual at the back has anthers, but they're not very well developed. Regardless, you can see that the anthers visible on the plant right in front here, the filaments are coming off surrounding the ovary, of course, but not forming a tube around that ovary. And here in this back one, you can see it a little more clearly. That would be the Malvaceae, the mallows, and that's not what we're looking at here. Stems not greater than 10, not monadelphous. 2A asks us flowers in simple to compound umbels. These occasionally congested, and the ovary inferior, 2 to 6 celled. Let's take another look at our flower here. These flowers do kind of come off in a group. The nature of this inflorescence has them all kind of coming off all at once, but an umbel is often this kind of flat-topped inflorescence that is not like what we're looking at here at all. So they are coming off all kind of at once from a central node, like you'd expect in an umbel, but it's not really a flat-topped kind of deal like we'd expect. And the rest of that description doesn't match well. So we can jump from there to flowers not in umbels, or if occasionally so, then ovary superior. The other thing we didn't talk about here is our location of our ovary, and we might want to dissect our flower to do that.